Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Communities Live here on Sheffield Live 93.2 FM. And we have filmmaker Christian Wehrle. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
So, for our listeners at home, give us a bit of background. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been a passionate diver since I'm 14. I was very lucky that my dad who started diving in the 60s, um, made me do a license because he didn't have one in the 60s. And so I was diving since I'm 14, 1990, and I could do this while I was in college. So one of my big passions is this diving part. And in college, friends of mine and myself were all film addicts, started doing films, and this was another big passion of us. And I was lucky to bring it together in the end to do filming and diving in one.
I've got to say, why did you get into filmmaking? What interested you in getting into filmmaking?
It's the magic of how you like the storytelling and I'm a very technical person, I have to say. So like for diving, I'm a technical diver. I'm a cave diver and a rebreather diver, and I love all these parts where you can what you can actually do with it. And it's the same about filmmaking for me. Um, I love these instruments. I love cameras. I love lights and what you can actually do to create a story. And obviously, in a documentary, which I love doing, you would take life like moments which are just slices of life in this very moment, but still you need the right gear to show it. I think.
And I've got to ask, Christian, who are your main influences? And also, if you could work with anybody, new or old, who would it be and why?
Influences, it's um I love The Big Blue from Luc Besson and from James Cameron, who's a passionate diver himself. The Abyss, I think it came out when I was just 13 or 14. I just did my course when I saw that movie, so it was just perfect timing for me. So these two, like Luc Besson, everything he was doing, like it's James Cameron as well. That's just these are incredible people to tell stories. Um, for the person I would love to work for, because I have been working as a video assist with a lot of actually feature film directors, and I have never had the chance to really do documentaries with others than myself and small crews. Alistair, and now I'm not sure if I will pronounce the name correctly. Um, Forthwell, Alistair Forthwell. He's from the BBC. He did Blue Planet. He's been doing this forever, I think. And when he did the Blue Planet, I was not even starting. I was just starting in the film industry, I think. So I'd love to work with him. Yeah, if there's a chance.
And you've all, I've got to mention this as well. You've worked on some big Hollywood projects, including John Wick and The Matrix. So, how did you find the creative process different between big franchise narrative films and independent documentaries?
It's in a way much easier if I'm like on independent documentaries, you're mostly a one-man show or very small team. So the decisions you can make very quickly. While on the other hand, if you have big productions, there's so many people involved, which is it's a real struggle to get through with your creative ideas, I think, which I'm not in the creative part in these feature films. I'm a video assist, so I do the technical. I help the director to see everything every camera is shooting and play it back and edit it, so they can make their creative decisions. And this is a real. It's a battle. It's something. It's yeah, something totally else.
And you've also made a documentary called Red Sea Brothers Island, a scuba adventure, and World War II, the shipwrecks of Truk Lagoon. Now, how long did each film take together to put together?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Sorry, how long did each film take to put together?
Ah, um, the Red Sea was around 2 years to put together. Mainly because like I said, I work as video assistant and as a documentary filmmaker. So there's 3 months of shooting here, then I have another 3 months of working on it again. Maybe it would have been a year, but it was 2 years for the Red Sea, and I went back and forth there several times, like Truk as well. And for Truck Lagoon, it actually took from the start to the end a decade. It took 12 years.
Wow, that's that's
I was,
I mean that's incredible.
yeah, I wasn't happy in the beginning when the first trip I did, and with the footage, I looked at it and I wasn't happy, and the technology was advancing, luckily, like editing software, everything which helped me, and I had to go back and do some other stuff. Like there was no, I had no drone in the beginning and other things which were really missing. I thought so. Yeah.
And I mean, besides these two documentary films, is there any future projects that you're currently working on that you can tell us about, or is it all quite secretive at the moment?
No, luckily I'm not Hollywood. I can talk about it. It's yeah, I was just last month in it's Egypt again, the Blue Hole in Dahab, which is they say it's the most dangerous dive spot in the world, which I will portray it's not, but it's people have died there, yeah. And it was very interesting in so many ways to see this dive spot because as a diver, first you would think, oh, why is this a dangerous dive spot? It's good visibility, it's warm waters, there's no currents. How can people die there? And um, and then when I was there the first dive, I realized, oh, it's the depth and people are just doing what they're not trained for. And I mean, I have my rebreather and I had a mix and I could go 80 meters. The ceiling is at 60 meters and I could film and see my body from very far away, which is one shot I wanted to do, a very wide shot. And I realized, oh, I'm 5 meters more deep than I should be, which is no problem in this gear, but on open circuit and not trained, it is a problem. And there were so many stories I could hear, listen to, and I will get on this new documentary, which I'm really yeah, looking forward to finish this year.
And in your opinion, as a filmmaker yourself, what makes a great short film, would you say, or a great documentary?
Um, in a short film, I would think it's if you leave a very lasting impact on the audience. That's what I think about a short film. Um, it should be to the point and yeah, hard to say. It's always hard to have a uh, hmm. It should, yeah. If you have a story which lasts, after the film has been showed or the credits roll, that's really something when you know you nailed it. Yeah. So it's the story, yeah.
And what would you say about a documentary? I mean, what would interest you in watch what in making a great documentary? What would interest you?
Yeah, if you to see or to show, well, first I love visual documentaries personally. So um there is tons, but even if it's not like a very great camera, it can be just a very good documentary. If again the story just shows you points of something you haven't thought of before, seen before, and you will take with you after the documentary ends as well. It's the same thing, yeah.
And I mean, so we talked about your two documentaries. So how can people get to see them? Is it digital? Can you get a physical copy?
They're all on the major streaming platforms like Amazon Prime. That's the most accessible around, I think, Amazon Prime. Then there's a Tubi, but that's in the US, I think, only. And it's on a distributor where they still keep pushing more channels. So depending on what you have as a streaming service, that might be there as well. I don't know yet. But Amazon Prime, I know they have them all. Yeah.
And for our listeners at home who want to follow you, do you have like social media where people can follow you on, like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter?
Yeah, I have a Facebook and a Instagram page with my name, and I have a homepage where I link as well the films. And each film has a Facebook page as well. So if you look at one film, it will easily get on the Facebook page where you can link and see the links, watch what else there is for me. Yeah.
And my final question for you, Christian, is to our audience who is listening, what would you like to say to our audience right now?
Oh, I hope if you've seen the movie that the spark of my or like these projects are really my from my heart, and I hope that you will enjoy the time as much as I enjoyed making them and watch them all over again and again, like I do a lot.
Christian, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.